or an arrow? Okay guys, so far I have seen one person get very close, but I have not seen it completely correct yet. Have not seen the sentence completely. Let me give you a hint. I want you to think about this phrase, soaked from the rain. What is that phrase describing? So where does that phrase need to be in the sentence? So think about that first. You could circle the phrase and draw an arrow if you want to move it. Don't have to rewrite now. So I've seen one person get it very close. So think about it again. This is more than commas, we're rearranging. Where are you putting it at? Okay, yeah. So what do you need to do to put it there? Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got two people. Is that what that's describing? Are you sure? Think about it again. Yep, okay, I'm seeing the right corrections now. Now we need to move it there. Okay, I've seen about 5 or 6 now. And I see the changes happening. Now we're talking. Okay, let's take a look. Everybody take a look. Here's my sentence. Okay, finish writing. Salaman. Oh. False alarm. Okay, so let's look at the sentence. Soaked from the rain, the warm, dry clothes felt awesome to the marathon runners. Amari, when you read this sentence, just like this, what does it sound like they're talking about is soaked from the rain? When you read it like this, it sounds like that?
It sounds like it's, I don't know.
So when I read this, soaked from the rain, the warm, dry clothes felt awesome to the marathon runners. It's kind of, to me, it sounds like soaked from the rain, they're talking about what, Matthew? The warm, dry clothes. Do you see what I mean? But does that make sense? How can it be soaked and dry at the same time? Splitting it in half. Well, not so much. What's that? Could be in the past, but we know that it's not, right? So this phrase, now this is what I saw quite a bit in your narrative writing. All of first period, all of your narratives are graded. You will look and see that I left you comments in your narratives. Some of you may need to actually still share them with me on Google Drive, but I'll talk to you about that later. A big thing that I saw was sometimes I would read a sentence and I would get confused because this is called a modifier. Your modifier would be in the wrong place. A modifier is a phrase that describes something else. Okay? We'll get more into that later. So, what is actually soaked from the rain, everybody? Everybody, what's actually soaked from the rain? The marathon runners. So then where does this phrase need to go? Anyone else? I've heard at the end, I heard at the middle. Alexia, how would you put it at the end? Can you read your sentence?
The warm, dry clothes felt awesome on the marathon runners after they were soaked from the rain.
Warm, dry clothes felt awesome to the marathon runners after they were soaked from the rain. Bogans, what do you think about that sentence?
I think that is good
You think it's good? Why?
because she switched the soap from the rain to the bottom, and that's where I think
Oh, because that's what you did? Because then it's describing what?
the runners.
The runners. Okay? So that is correct. If you did not put this phrase at the end of the sentence, go ahead and circle it now and draw an arrow to the end of the sentence. That's where it should go. Bonus question, Adamari. What do I need? If I'm going to add that phrase at the end of the sentence, she said, after they were soaked from the rain. What else could I do? Like if I just wanted to put, the warm, dry clothes felt awesome to the marathon runners soaked from the rain. How else could I fix that? Need a little help? What do you think, Matthew? After being soaked from the rain? Okay, how else, Brian? What's that? Say the sentence you wrote loud.
The warm, dry clothes soaked from the rain and felt awesome to the marathon.
Warm, dry clothes, but see, when you put it in the middle, the warm, dry clothes and soaked from the rain. Is that what you said?
No.
Oh, say it again.
The warm, dry clothes soaked from the rain and felt awesome to the marathon runners.
Okay, guys, his sentence. The warm, dry clothes soaked from the rain felt awesome to the marathon runners. What does that sound like it's describing, Neutron? What's that? The clothes. If I say the warm, dry clothes soaked from the rain, you see what I'm saying? Sounds like I'm still talking about the clothes. So put it at the end. What I'm leading to, we're going to move forward real quick, is a comma. Thank you. A comma, and I could say who were soaked from the rain. Okay? 2 more mistakes in this. Obviously, I didn't. Awesome. How do you spell it? Yeah, we got to speak a little louder. Say it again.
AWESOM.
AWESOM. And then I have one more mistake. Who caught it? Brian?
Never mind.
Okay. Alexia? There would be a comma between warm and dry. Anyone know why? Michael? Why would I separate 2 words like that? I don't. Nope. Because I would separate warm and dry because they are describing clothes. So if I have two words together that describe something, adjectives, I need a comma. Tanner, can you come get this? Oop. Okay, so moving on, today you'll see I've given you, hold on, it's not that, there we go. I have given you there we go, okay. Handout with some notes. So we're gonna move forward to the research part of Park. And then our objective today, Nevaeh, can you read it loud for us, please?
I can turn a statement into a question in order to unpack Park research task writing prompt.
Okay, so a statement, we're turning a statement into what, Cameron?
Into a question.
Turning into a question. All right, everybody, what are we trying to make today? We're turning statements into what? Questions. All right, let's wake up a little bit. Here we go. Oh, there's my answer too, if you didn't get it. The warm, dry clothes felt awesome. The marathon runners who were soaked from the rain. Cool? Moving on. Here we go. You'll see that you have some blanks in your handouts as I go through and tell you these things, so you don't have to write quite as much. We're going to fill in these blanks. Here we go. So the research task. We've talked about the narrative task. Let's talk about the research task a little bit. Research task is the one that we've been practicing with actually the past couple days, and I've noticed some questions that we missed. So I want to follow up with how to answer questions, okay? The highest grade that we had on the research practice that we've actually done the past 2 days was like a 20 out of 26. Bravo to Evan. But what I noticed is I think sometimes we just don't understand the question. Okay, so as we prepare for Park, the most important thing that you need to be able to do is what, Maria? Say it louder for us. Yes, turning the prompt into a question. 99% of the time, the prompt, they're not going to word it like a question. That's why it's confusing. It doesn't end with a question mark. So you might read an entire thing and go, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what they're asking me. Anybody ever felt like that? Come on, I know we felt like that. You're reading, you're on the test, and you do not know how to answer the writing prompt. Because if you don't know what the question is, you're probably not going to answer it in your writing. But if you turn it into a question, you should be able to answer it. So today, that's all we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to make questions out of statements. We good to go? Look over at your neighbor if you're lagging behind a little bit. Okay? Okay, as a reminder, the first thing that I want you to do when you take the Park test, when you are reading a section, I want you to click forward. Here we go. Click forward to the writing prompt so that you can turn it into a question. Click forward to the writing prompt so you can turn it into a question. These are those two big blanks in the middle of the paper. Eric, why do you think that it would be important for me to click forward and write that on my scrap paper?
So, the thing that I go and then check that, and don't have a problem looking through the writing prompt.
So you can check back